So it is the role, the duty, hopefully, of every one of us to strive and do their very best to transcend. Why is it that with 98% of commonality between people on earth, why is it that 2% of our differences create problems all the time? You are the ambassador of God on earth. And that you gather all the people on earth onto a football stadium. And you ask them the question, people, what's your problem? Why do you fight? Why are there wars? Why is there hatred? The answers will come from different directions. It's because this group is black, this group is white, this group is yellow, all kinds of reasons centered around the skin color. That's the racial fault line. Why? Because the eye is the filter, and it sees very quickly the color. And through that filter, people of bad intentions can project the hatred outwards to others. When you go past that racial fault line, there's a secondary fault line, very akin, very similar to this racial fault line. It's the tribal fault line. Your ear is the filter. When somebody doesn't speak the same language as you, you tend to use that filter to cast your hatred onto them. And that's a form, an excuse for a hatred or for division. Let's just assume that God heeds your prayers, answers your prayers, and say, okay, we are only going to leave in this football stadium people of one race. You can extend to that by saying people of one tribe, if you will, but people of one race. Every other race is taken out of this stadium except the people of your own race. And then you ask those people, hey guys, what's your problem? Why are there wars? Why are there fights? Why is there hatred? They'll come back to you and say, see, the guys over there are Muslims. These over here are Christians. These behind me there are Jews. These are atheists, and so forth. It is the fault line of religion. And the fault line of religion has been used for hundreds of years to create wars on this planet. God decides to remove from this stadium those who do not belong to your religion. So basically in this stadium, now we only have left people of your same race, of your same tribe, if you will, and people of the same religion. It's paradise, right? Not so fast, because there'll still be hatred, there'll still be problems. And to you asking the question, why are there still wars, tensions, divisions? The answer from the crowd would be, hey, look, the people over there are the rich people, and we over here, we are the poor people. That's the economic fault line. The rich versus the poor. Between nations, you can call that the game of interest. The rich nations, the powerful nations versus the poor nations. But within tribes, it's going to be the rich versus the poor. The rich are obviously always going to be richer, and the poor are going to strive as best as they can to try to climb up to the ladder. But unfortunately, the history has proven that these guys have always been very much victimized. As the ambassador of God on earth, you've managed to have God remove from the stadium all kinds of people except people from the same race, of the same religion, and of the same economic class. And now you're asking the question. It's wonderful down here, right? They'll probably answer and respond to you, not quite. And the reason is, men are different from women. Women cannot be priests, they cannot be pastors, they can't be presidents, they can't earn the same salary as men, and so forth. These kinds of arguments. And I believe that these are obviously very erroneous arguments, or very fake arguments, that no one should fall victim of. That's called the gender fault line. And God, being as gracious as he or she is, I will go ahead and remove all the genders from your test crowd, from our humanity. So we left with the same race, same religion, same economic class, and same gender. Now, this must surely be the perfect world. The answer from the crowd will still be, no, we have some issues. The young kids of today, they spend too much time on the internet. We want them to spend time with us. And the kids will probably say, well, our parents are too restrictive. They're archaic. They live in the 50s, in the 20th century. We're looking forward into the 22nd century. And that is called the generation gap, the fight between generations. These are the 5 social fault lines that have created so much problems within humanity. And these are the same 5 social fault lines which I believe will continue to create a lot of division. What I'm basically saying that whatever you do for one race must be just as good for the other race. Whatever you do for one person of a given religion must be just as good and just as appreciated by people of other religions. Whatever you do for one gender must be just as well done and just as appreciated by the people of the opposite gender. Whatever you do for one group of people, one economic class, must be just as good for anyone else from other economic classes. And whatever you do for a group of one category of generational populations must be just as appreciated by those of other generations. A final word on this generation for the youth here. The advantage that the older generation, people like me, have over you guys, the younger generation, is that once, a long time ago, we too were young.